everyone, welcome back to my YouTube. It's your girl Honey. Today we're talking about having your Venus in Taurus. So this video will conclude Venus through the Earth signs, and I think the last one I've got to upload is Venus in Aquarius. So that will come today or tomorrow. It all depends on how I feel. I want to say Happy New Year's Eve. It is going to be the first step into 2018 in a few hours. I'm really excited, but it makes no difference to me, really. Not really. But there's a lot of shit happening, going to be going down over the next year. So I've been looking at my solar return chart, and it's crazy ass shit. But anyway, Venus in Taurus. What can I tell you about Venus in Taurus? If you have your Venus in Taurus, you will be a Taurus sun, a Cancer sun, Gemini sun, Aries sun, or a Pisces sun, and obviously Taurus sun if I haven't said that already. Also, Venus is the planet of love, romance, beauty, luxury. It can be seen as someone who overindulges as well. We will talk about that with Taurus. Also, your creativity, your creative skills. Taurus is actually at home in Venus. Taurus is the ruler of Venus. Libra is the co-ruler. Taurus's home is in the second house on the natal chart. The second house represents your assets, your finances, or your earned money, shall I say. Your earned money, your self-worth. So having your Venus in Taurus, you know, you're going to be someone who is very into materialism. Okay, and you probably heard this before, but to you guys, it's not a thing, and I don't look at it as being a bad thing either. It really doesn't. It depends how bad you are. Someone who has their sun sign in Taurus and also their Venus sign in Taurus, you're going to be someone who is, you know, whatever is next to the sun amplifies the whole energy. It just makes it even bigger. So you're going to be seen as someone who is very sensual. And I'm sitting there thinking about Taurus, thinking, oh my God, Janet Jackson, I'm sure she's a Taurus. Let me just type this in. Oh, by the way, my phone case is from my website, as you can see. Yes. It's from my website. Check that shit out. I do worldwide shipping, yes. So yes, I can see Janet Jackson has her Mercury in Taurus also, those of you who can't see. Don't know if you can see. Anyway, she's got her Mercury in Taurus, and my Mercury is also in Taurus. Your Mercury is how you process information, your voice, your intelligence, etc., right? So someone like Janet Jackson, she has a very sensual voice. Like, she's very sexy, but it's seductive and very feminine, and it's very sensual. Taurus energy is very sensual. And when it's next to the sun, that is the first thing people notice about you, is how comfortable and how laid back. And you might be a little bit quiet, but there is a strong sense of sensuality and sexuality with you. And I get this a lot from people, especially on my YouTube. You guys are like, oh, don't make the videos faster. I like your voice and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, thank you. It's weird to me, but that's what I hear a lot on my YouTube, right? But anyway, someone who has their Venus in Taurus, you know, it's sensual energy and it's very sexy. Taurus is a feminine sign as well, and Venus is also a feminine planet. So it just exudes femininity. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you have heard this 10 times already, but yes, you are very materialistic. It's just what you're like. Taurus energy is all about the finer things in life, and what it is, you guys seek security in collecting stuff as well. You know, you guys seek security in your possessions, and you also view your partners as possessions. Your partners are almost like a piece of you. And what I love about this Venus in Taurus is, when I'm looking for a spouse, okay, I would love it if he had his Venus in Taurus. Why? Because it's seen as very devoted energy. It's because Venus is at home here. It's all about how they are with their partners, and they can become very attached to their partners. And it's nice energy, in my opinion, because I've got my Venus in Pisces and I'm all about my partner, and I need someone who can be like that towards me, okay? Now, when you have your Venus in Taurus and you've got Jupiter aspects for example, your Jupiter could be trining or even conjunct your Venus. It makes you popular, as I've said plenty of times before. It makes you popular, and it also makes you a little bit overweight, especially when it's in Taurus, because Taurus is someone who overindulges. But Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It just basically expands anything it touches. So when you have aspects to your Venus from Jupiter, when you have Jupiter aspects to your Venus, there's going to be a sense of, okay, I'm going to overindulge, and I'm going to overindulge in ice cream, in food. You guys are all about food. You guys love eating, you guys love cooking, you guys love hosting and cooking for friends. And what I've noticed is, the thing is with Venus and Taurus people, oh my God. The thing is with you people, right? You guys, if you guys are stimulated by your senses. So don't let people say, oh, she's not really, don't let people say you're not really that deep, okay? Because you guys are all about your body senses, because you are sensual. And what it is, if you're not stimulated by your eyes, by the smells, by touch, by taste, how many senses are there? Taste, eyes, whatever, okay? For example, you know, if someone takes you out for a meal and you're Venus and Taurus, so it has to be somewhere very swanky, very nice. You go into the restaurant and you decide what you want. It comes to the table and you can smell the food from your plate. That stimulates your senses. You see it, it looks beautiful. Stimulates your senses. You taste it, it tastes wonderful. Stimulates your senses. Smell it, taste it, look at it. And you touch it. You know, like, I find Taurus energy always smell things. Like, they smell food before they eat it as well. But anyways, because they're sensual and they are all about feeling the senses, because that's what stimulates them. That's why when it comes to these people in the bedroom, right? They are very, very touchy-feely. You know, don't get with these people if you have dry skin, if you don't moisturize, if you've got like acne everywhere or whatever it is, right? These people like to touch and they like to feel the textures on your skin. And I mentioned in my Venus in Cancer video yesterday, day before, whenever it was, right? That Venus in Cancers, they like to have, they're all about the home, making the environment as homely as possible. So someone who's a Taurus, Venus in Taurus, and they have their sun sign in Cancer, they would be all about the textures of their furnishings in the house. So when you're buying cushions, like, these people would not like to buy a leather couch. However, if they do, they would have spent a lot of money on it, because they spend a lot of money on their shit. Their finances, I'll go into it in a minute, but they spend a lot of money on themselves, you know. If they bought a leather sofa that costs, you know, £1,200 or whatever, they would have to dress it and furnish it with different fabrics, because they're all about the touch and how things feel, especially if it's Gemini, because Gemini is all about the hands. Anyway, because these people are all about making themselves feel really good, looking good, they will spend a lot of money on designer clothing, on expensive perfumes, on expensive shoes, just basically making themselves, presenting themselves in a way that makes them feel good, because when they look good, they feel value in themselves. So they are notorious for getting into debt, because they have no idea, no sense of, okay, let me just not buy that handbag today because I got to pay my rent. You know, they can be very much like that, because they like to they feel value in their appearance and also collecting nice things. You go to a Venus in Taurus person's house and you open that wardrobe, there's going to be shit everywhere, because they love clothing. They love how expensive textures feel on their skin. Oh, this is silk, honey. This is silk, comes from the worm. You know, they love that shit. This is suede. Suede. Oh, suede. Oh, this feels good. They are all about the textures. Trust me, like, these people don't play. Now, as I was saying earlier about them being, seeing their partners as possessions, You know, a lot of the time, because these people, they share a lot of similarities to Libra as well, actually. And obviously a little bit in Capricorn, but I say more so Libra, right? But I find Venus and Taurus people see their partners as possessions because I've said this before, there is not a sign out there that is the most loyal sign out of all the signs. Every sign is liable to cheat or do something. It's just what human nature is like, unfortunately. But I find Venus and Taurus people, when it comes to their partners or people around them, they can have multiple choice in who they want to spend their time with. But they can get very, very jealous, and they tend to jump into relationships because they just like to have that security. So although they might be single and just seeing different people here or there, they'll pick one, and it's usually the person who is showing independence in regards to their stability. So they're showing how stable that they are. They've got money, they dress really well, and they'll go for that person. And they go for that person, and they'll stay in that relationship, even though they're not completely fulfilled internally, but they stay with this person because it's about having the security of being in a relationship. Now, the thing is, these people are all about commitment. And even when they're dating someone, you know, they are expecting the same levels of commitment back. That's why I do respect Venus and Taurus people, because, you know, when they do get into relationships, they are all the way committed and they expect it back. And even if they're not quite happy, they won't leave. You know, they will try to resolve things before they step out and cheat or find someone else. They are all about that security in relationships, and that is what I really like about them. That's why Venus is at home here. Oh my God, this is going to sound so weird, but listen, I keep it real with you guys over here, okay? Someone who has their Venus in Taurus. Taurus is all about the money, wealth, finances, you know, security. So I saw a poll a little while ago, and it was basically a question, which is, what signs are seen working in the strip clubs the most? Now, don't get offended here, because we keep it real here, okay? So a lot of people voted, well, I'm a Taurus, or my Lilith is in this, and I'm that, and I'm blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people, most people voted that Taurus, you know. A lot of people have worked in strip clubs and bars, and obviously if you're into astrology, you'll ask people their signs. And a lot of people came back and said, rah, you know, most people that I know that have worked in strip clubs have been Taurus and Scorpio. And I was sitting there like, oh my God, actually, I'm not surprised by that. And the reason why I say this is because Taurus is all about making them, it's purely business. You know, they can be very sensual with their bodies, and because it's all about making the money fast, because Taurus like their money to come in fast, right? You know, that was interesting. And also this placement can also be seen as gold diggers, in a sense where, you know, they are getting what they want out of someone because it's all about what's benefiting them. But trust me, they do love, and I did just say they won't leave you, you know, just because. They're not like that, but they will stay as long as they are benefiting in some type of way. Now, when you think of gold diggers, a lot of gold diggers charts that I've seen have the Lilith in Taurus. However, I don't look at it being a bad thing. Again, I really don't, because we are in a time where, you know, we need to have shmoney. We need the shmoney. And Venus in Taurus, Lilith Taurus will not settle for just love. Who's got time for just love? I want to love someone, yeah, of course I do, but they've got to come with the money too, because I don't want to struggle. No one wants to struggle. I don't want to struggle. And what's so weird is I've got a Lilith in Taurus person, and also her Venus is in Taurus, and she's a bit older than me. And she said to me, she was like, honey, and she's been saying this to me for years, right? She's like, honey, look, you know, you keep on going for these guys and you're too nice to them. You're going for love. Stop it. You know, go with him for money. You know, go and get someone who's got some money so you don't struggle no more. And I'm sitting there like, God, you're so right. Why am I with this guy? He doesn't love me. You know, why am I trying with someone who's got nothing to offer me? Taurus people will go for someone who's going to benefit them in a luxurious way, lifestyle, whatever it is. A Taurus, whatever it is, they have to be in a relationship where they are going to reap the benefits at some point. Now, these people, whenever I think of Venus and Taurus, I think of God, Instagram lifestyles. Why? Because Venus and Taurus likes to present to people, I have nice things, because they are proud of their nice things. Their nice holidays, their nice cars, their nice shoes, they're this, they're that, blah, blah, blah. All right. When you have this energy, for example, on Instagram, there's a lot of, you know, fabricated lifestyles, and people are out here, you know, driving car rentals, pretending that it's theirs, you know, driving different cars, going on holidays and posting, oh, you know, we catch flights, not feelings, all that bullshit, right? But when I think of it, I think of Venus and Taurus being that lifestyle because that's how they showed their worth. And people like to show their worth on social media sometimes. People who have their Venus and Taurus, especially when you've got Jupiter aspects, they have wonderful singing voices, like I said before with Janet Jackson, and, you know, very sensual voices, and people like to listen to them, and, you know, they just exude. It's, oh my God, listen, if you are a Gemini and your Venus is in Taurus, I really hope you are writing like music and singing music, because Gemini energy is there. Gemini suns are so good at writing. Like even Mercury in Gemini, so good at writing. Like who is Mercury in Gemini? Chris Brown, Mercury in Gemini. He's a Taurus sun and a Taurus moon. Janet Jackson, Taurus sun, Mercury Taurus. I can't think of anyone else right now. Now, if you are a Cancer, oh my God, this is wonderful energy if like you're into art. Cancers tend to be quite arty anyway. Someone who's a Cancer and they have their Venus in Taurus, you might be into like sensual art. Like I think I've mentioned this before, when it comes to like someone's body, and you really appreciate, especially if it's a woman's body, because remember this is feminine energy. And you love sculpting it or painting it, and it's kind of abstract in a sense where it's different colors, and you just appreciate a woman's body. Whether you're a female or a male, you appreciate a female's body, okay? How do you know Venus in Taurus person likes you? They are going to be showering you with gifts, expensive gifts, all right? They're going to be pleasing you in the bedroom. And when they're pleasing you, they please you based on your needs. You know, they have needs too, but they will literally make sure that you're okay. They're all about touching. And when you have a Venus and Taurus person touch you in the bedroom, I find Taurus energy is very bullyish anyway, like in the bedroom, very aggressive. And you don't clock that until you get underneath them, okay? But Venus and Taurus person wants to fulfill your complete needs, because it's all about making their partner feel comfortable and feeling good. They want to please their partner. And when you think about it, Scorpio is their opposite, right? Scorpio is all about drawing the chemistry from someone in the bedroom. And that's why a lot of people like sleeping with Scorpios, because it's all about drawing this connection. Whoever it is, they draw it out of them. But when your Taurus is in Venus, when it comes to their sexual chemistry, when it comes to their sexual tendencies, they are the kind of person, they will caress you and make you feel good physically. So, you know, especially if you're female, you know, and you are sleeping with a man, like you make his skin feel good, obviously his body, you know, but you're very good at making him feel like, oh my God, that was great. You know, I feel like I've just come to a session, I've got a massage, you know, I'm going to go now and I feel great. Thank you. But, you know, they are very good at making the experience, the physical experience memorable. Now, I think I mentioned the women before, yeah, but the females, like, they are not the best at being self-employed, because they like to reap the benefits from their partners, right? But this all depends on what's, especially in your second house, even your rising, can be your 7th house and your 6th house and 10th house. Like, trust me, there's whole aspects to what I'm about to say here that matter. But I do find that when you have your Venus in Taurus, as if you're female, you're happy for your man to go to work and you live a traditional wife lifestyle, and you'd be happy cooking, cleaning, tending to your man's needs, and you feel fulfilled by that, because you know if you're going to invest in him, because you look at men as investments, okay? You're going to look at it like, okay, I'm going to do all of this for him because this is me investing in our relationship, and if anything happens, he's going to make sure that I'm going to get compensated for this, okay? That's how they think. But trust me, they make really, really good wives. They really do. Now the men, when it comes to the men, they are very into women who have this natural, sensual sexuality, typical Taurus energy. You know, women who use their bodies to seduce. You know, a woman who would strip tease and she'll do it slowly, sensual, you know, get the silk cloth out and just rub it against her body. You know, they are into shit like that. And they like women who are fuller figured, maybe. They've got, you know, basically a woman who has a figure to her, you know, who's got big boobs, big bum or whatever, but just very like, okay, I see you eat. I see you eating, girl. I see you getting thick. You know, they're into shit like that. Because Taurus energy, Taurus is very simple. You know, even my form of communication, you guys have never heard me say a big word. And look at me calling it a big word, because I can't use, you know, Taurus is just very simple. I always wonder why sometimes Taurus people don't end up in relationships, because they just, it's so easy. Taurus is a fixed sign, so there's going to be some issues with stubbornness and, you know, not letting things go. But I find because they're so simple, you know, they can, traditionalism, we all know what that is. It's simple stuff, and but some people don't quite understand that. And it's very simple to date these people because you know what you're going into. Now, if you are an Aries sun and your Venus is in Taurus, this makes you a nicer type of Aries to deal with, because Aries is impulsive, Aries is vulgar, Aries is raw, rough, and these are not things that Taurus energy, you know, has. And I'm an Aries, I know I swear a lot, but it's my Mercury in Taurus which makes me a little bit more smooth, right? So when you have your Venus in Taurus, it's like, oh, you're so sweet, you're so nice and sensual. And any Taurus energy that you mix and throw in with a fire sign, it just humbles fire a little bit. Now, although yes, I'm an Aries, you know, I should be out here loud. My voice should be coarse. I should be, you know, being very dramatic and extra. I can't do that. I can't, because my Mercury is in Taurus and it's also in the 12th motherfucking house, all right? With my sun in the 12th house as well. I'm sorry, but that's just exactly how it is. So anyway, that is my video on Venus in Taurus. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed it. And this will conclude, apart from tomorrow when I put up the Venus in Aquarius, but this will conclude my Venus through the signs series. I am so happy. I'm getting crazy feedback from this. And I really look forward to starting maybe Mars. I want to do Mars. I've got to do Jupiter through the houses. I have to do that. It's so important. I want to do Saturn as well, Uranus as well. Oh my God, so much shit to do. But I think I might start Mars next, as Mars and Venus is very important. But please like, subscribe, share, comment, follow me on Instagram, like my Facebook page. You guys can contact me if you need to. I shall be doing readings very, very soon. Just bear with me. I'm getting so much feedback. It's crazy. But anyway, thank you, people. Have a nice day.